The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Welcome to the offices of Duke & Duke, 100 South Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We take a look, of course, at the DAX early this morning. You can see it's been in that continuation downtrend. We should be at completing some ABCDs down in here, but if these fail, of course, they can go a whole lot lower. You'll notice both of these indices from across the pond are doing pretty much exactly the same thing. We do have some really important things to talk about, I believe, in the precious metals market. We need to pay very close attention, folks, to the gold here, because I would like to bring this to your attention so you'll be able to get a pretty good idea of what could be happening in the gold. So let me bring this up here to let you see. This is the thing that we've been following for this week, of course, and you'll notice that this area of 1194 is a very critical level. The thing is, if we get much below that, we should hit 1188. Below 1188 is going to cause the gold market to possibly not be very good. That's what I'm looking at. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know, but that's what we're looking at right here. So let's keep an eye on it. At 9:30, folks, we're going to have Arch Crawford from Crawford Perspectives on. Arch and I are going to discuss September 11th, 2001. Arch and I were actually on the phone when the plane hit, the first plane hit, and we're going to share some of our stories that we saw. Never want to forget a day like that. You know, compared to the crash of 1987, that was really nothing, folks. That was just money, and you know, it was dramatic, and I would never forget it. But frankly, the 9/11 was it was far more debilitating from a mental standpoint than October in 1987. I actually was short, so I was actually, doing okay. But the problem was, so many people, lost their lives, and it changes forever, and no question about it. Anyway, we'll do that. That was a Tuesday morning, by the way, boys and girls, in case you don't remember. I certainly remember it because I was just sitting here staring at the TV and chatting with Arch like I usually did at the time, and then bada bing, bada boom, the next thing you know, our world changed. All right, let's move on to take a look at what's going on in this gold market. Look what's happening in the gold silver index, folks. This is really an amazing thing. I owe this to my good friend Jim Flanagan at GAN Educators. I usually don't look at this gold silver index, but look how we've come down and broken through the lows of August the 15th. Now the gold is not even retraced to the 61% level yet. That comes in at 1188. But you'll notice we're making new lows here in the gold silver index. This is usually a bearish indicator because you're breaking down. You can see how strong gold is, which is the gold line, compared to the gold silver index. So the gold silver stocks are really getting hammered. That's not a good sign. If we take a look at the bull bear index for gold, we'll bring this up to let you take a look at it. We're seeing exactly the same thing happen, that you've got more bears coming in. And so this thing has not changed as of yet. Whether this is going to be a significant bottom here in the gold or not, remains to be seen. Now, silver has gone down and touched the 1404 level. I've always said anything below $14 in silver ought to be a pretty good holding area, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. So just remember that these are all based on my opinion, folks, and that's what it is. It's just my opinion. It's nothing more, nothing less, and it's all technical, has nothing to do, with the fundamentals if you happen to be looking at those. But that's what we're trying to keep an eye on. That's the main thing as we look at something like this. So I think it's important that we should remember that this is what's going on. Now, there's another stock that's in the news that I think looks very interesting. I used to trade this stock 11 years ago when Sarah and I first met. back in Hong Kong. And if we take a look here, this is Alibaba, folks. This was when it was trading for around, I believe it was trading for around $35 or $40 per share. And but this is where we are right now. We had a high of 212. You'll notice that we're coming down now. We're making a big ABCD at the 1.27 expansion down here at this 154 level. That is a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. You can see the perfect ABCD structure coming in. This last drop down, it appears to be related to something with Jack Ma wanting to go back into education. When you have that kind of money, you can go back into any area of performance that you want to go into, because you can't spend $1 billion. You might be able to give it away or tax it away, but to spend it is pretty difficult. You're just not able to do that. Now, we've had a couple of questions this morning regarding the S&P. We've been talking about this for quite some time. We might as well get this up and take a look at it, because I don't think anything's changed here. We'll look at it this morning, and as you can see here, this is this 60-minute chart. It gives a beautiful ABCD up there at the high at 29.17. We came down. We made a 78% retracement, just spot on to the low that we had back on the 22nd of August. If you remember, that happened to be the eclipse. And now what we're doing now is we're trading at around 28.71 this morning. Anything below, I believe, 28.62 would tell us that we're most probably heading down towards this really key level of the second key level, of course, would come in at 20.44. But folks, if we get below 28.20, this to me is going to suggest that maybe this major top that that I see happening might actually be happening. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but a couple of things are leading towards that thing. If you follow the Nasdaq has not even been able to make a even tiny ABCD correction during this time, and that's usually a relatively negative thing, to keep an eye on. Now, I don't have any. Someone's asking me the question, what is regarding the news going on, folks? The only time I watch the news is when it's something really dramatic. I usually have the television on mute, and I try to watch, for prices that, might be of interest to you, or someone might be chatting about it. But as far as the news, that stuff, whether Putin's meeting with China or Mickey Mouse or whatever it happens to be, that really doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me. And the things that you see in the news, I mean, we've never had a news cycle like this in all the years I've been around. It changes every 5 minutes, but we'll have to wait and see how history talks about it. Now, I'm going to be showing the chart. I'm going to put this up a couple times because I think it's important to talk about this just a little bit. And here's where we are. Yes, it's a nice. I have one of the larger 15-inch black and white TVs. Actually, folks, when I was a kid back in Terre Haute, Indiana, we didn't have a TV until I think it was 1961. We watched the World Series, and it was a black and white TV. Color TV we didn't get until later on after the silver money. Anyway, let's take a break here, and we'll look at this stock market from 2001 when we come up. Hold on, 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and David White gave us a really good question to ask ourselves, and since we talked about that gold-silver index, this weakness that we're seeing in these gold and silver stocks might be related to things that are going on into South Africa. Now, here's where that goes beyond my pay grade, because I just look at the charts. I really don't follow that kind of stuff, but that could be the reason behind it. You know, we don't know if that's going to be the case. This is the day before we have a major report, folks, in the grain markets. This will be something really big happening tomorrow, so pay attention to that. It's going to be very, very important. Mr. Z's asked if Cy Monley from Sylvius Financial is positioned, and he is. He's long corn, he's long beans, and he's long wheat. His personal opinion is that the tariffs won't mean a whole lot of difference because they're going to have to eat no matter what. And I'm not sure if these tariffs are related to what's really going on in the markets or not. The currency markets are moving around normally, I would think, more than anything else. We have another question here about the euro, and I want to bring this up just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here this morning in the euro. It's going to be, we've been watching this for quite some time, but if you'll notice here, we've had some lower highs here in the euro. We got up all the way to 1640 last night, equal rally. Now, the real key level, we're looking at two of them. One of them is here at 115.50. That's the 61% retracement of this last move. And there's also the big one, which is down at 114.71. That's down about 90 pips. And boys and girls, I have to go along there because I'm going to have three ABCD patterns and a 61% retracement in what I think could be, you know, the start of a big bull market. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not going to have to risk very much at that time, but I still want to be watching it. Remember, these patterns do fail. If you recall, we've been watching the Australian dollar and at this 70 level, and we have gone below the 70 level in 2 days in a row now. Now, we haven't totally collapsed. We're only down, you know, a few pips from that level, but it's in an area where it should find some pretty strong support. But as of now, you know, it hasn't. It's still trading around 70.90. We made a low of 70.85 today. buying it at 70, you have to have a 30 pip stop on that. So if we hit 70.70, you got to figure that's one for the dugout and just move to something else, because you can't stand in front of these. And a $300 risk on a contract that's worth about 70,000 is very acceptable. It's had a profit of $250 to $300 several different times, but we're looking for something a lot bigger, and so we have to stick with that and not watch the machine, and try to keep your mind focused on what the larger prize could be, and we don't know what that is going to be. Now the S&P is setting right at that key level of the 78% level of that previous low that we made last Friday at the key level of 2865. That comes in at 28.70. That's been the low so far this morning. We're trading at 28.71. If we get below that 28.65 level, folks, this is not going to be a good picture for stocks. It really isn't, because it's got all the earmarks of something that could possibly be something a little more sinister. And that's just looking at the charts. There's nothing nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that, it's just got one of those pictures. Let me just show you here in just a second what I mean here, because there's a lot of weakness coming in here that you don't really see. Just let's take a quick look here at the NASDAQ this morning, folks, just to watch it, because you'll notice the NASDAQ had a beautiful ABCD coming in at right around 75.05. That's what we were looking for. Now, all we did this morning was we took out the highs of yesterday by about 4 points up there at that 74.90 level. We're now trading 60 handles below that. We're below the 78% level. And as you can see, it doesn't take very much to tip this market to the downside. Anything below 7,400, that's only 23 handles away, is going to be, I think, relatively negative. Now, I'm not sure if it's the way it should be or not, but that's the way it looks, in my opinion. What I'm doing right now as we speak is I am putting a limit minder in here to see if this market gets below that level, because I want to see how it reacts, because if it continues to accelerate below that level, that's going to give us a lot of information that these positions that we think are going to be heading down, could be very, very interesting. Now, one thing that we did talk about yesterday, did the NASDAQ chart post, folks? Oh, well, if you think those are higher lows, Maria, then you have to buy it. But I don't think that's what I'm looking at, so we'll see. But they are higher lows. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, folks, let's just move here. One of the things we talked about yesterday was the fact that this high-yield bonds have a gap down, and we're heading lower again, and also that the Treasury bonds and the Treasury notes are breaking down. That was another one that we said that looked like it really wanted to break. We're almost ready to go below the 150 142 handle in these right now, and that's not a good sign either. So this is beginning to look like this could be the start of something big, and this is why I don't sing too often on the air, because I would have everybody turn off the monitors. Anyway, let's we have a question here about the British pound. There are always questions about different things, and we certainly love to hear them. But the British pound has rallied up almost into that area of 131. We want to get this up here so you can take a look at it. You'll see that it's right into that resistance, Larry, at 131. Yeah, thanks, Al. You're being too nice. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Oh, someone's asking me to tell me my favorite Santa Anita story. Oh my God, I have so many of them. But one of the ones that Santa Anita is the racetrack, the very famous racetrack up against the Sierra Madre Mountains there in Los Angeles. But one of them, well, there are so many of them. But it was a fall day. They just opened the fall season, and I was there with Eddie Horwitz, and Eddie had been waiting for this horse to run for well over a year. He had some problems, and they had trained him a little bit and tried him out in a couple races, and he didn't do very well. And Ed said this is how the trainer got his horses ready for a big long shot. And so I went and made my bet, and he had him in this exotic exacta and stuff. And so I came back, and Eddie said, "What did you bet?" And I bet $50. And oh, he got so mad at me. He said, "We wait 1 year, and you're betting $50." And he said, "How much cash do you have on you?" I said, "I think about 500." He says, "Go make a significant bet." So I went back and I said, "Oh, I hate to do this." So I had $50 bet. So I bet another $200 on the horse. It was called I'm an Old Pro. And jockey was Bobby Howard, and he was at 50 to 1. Can you imagine looking up at the tote board and you're betting that kind of money on a 50 to 1 shot, and there's 9 other horses, boys and girls. The race started, and I'm an Old Pro was the 11 horse, and he ran wire to wire. He started out leading and just got bigger, almost like watching the Secretariat rerun is what it was like. It wasn't quite that big of a lead, but he went all the way, won by about 10 lengths. And my exacta came in, and the bet that I'd made, and I made $25,000 on that $250 investment. So I remember that one. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I hope I have my good friend Arch Crawford on the line. Arch, are you there? Well, Maybe a technical difficulties, might be busy this morning, but anyway, we'll get him on here soon, I hope. Let's take a quick look at that stock market where we were back in 2001. You'll notice on September 11th, we were on our way down. When I was I was short that day. I had a couple of contracts short, and what happened was the market, when that first plane hit, Arch and I were actually talking on the phone at the same time, and there was a little bit of a down move, maybe 3 or 4 points, and then in a half an hour, another one came up, and that made it kind of tough. So, Arch, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, nice talking to you, buddy. I was telling the folks here at TFNN that we were on the phone together that day, 17 years ago when the plane hit, and we were chatting about it. And of course, you thought that it was something a lot more sinister. Most people thought it was a private plane where someone was trying to do a small terrorist attack or commit suicide, but it ended up being pretty tough. Sam, what is your most memorable thing that happened that day? I had a few of them, but do you remember anything that you'd like to share with the folks?
The first hit was 8:46 Eastern Time, and the second one was 9:01 Eastern Time. Mm-hmm. And I remember that I predicted that the U.S. will be at war around the weekend of the 7th or 8th of September 2001.
Wow.
In the newsletter. And if you read page 4 of that newsletter, we've had several mentions of it.
Wow. Sam, the one thing that I remember the most, I mean, there were so many of them, but you and I had talked several times during the day, but when they were talking, I was watching CNN at the time, and they talked.
Wasn't it?
I don't remember what it was. I think it was CNN, it was CNBC. That's right, it was CNBC. But you had called me on the phone and told me that the Department of Defense had been hit. The Pentagon got hit. And I said, "Oh, Sam," I said, "that can't be right." I said, "because there's nothing on TV about it." And it was a full 10 minutes before they ever got the news. How did you get that so fast, Sam? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Well, I remember it very vividly. I said, "Wow, how did you know that it got hit?" Because it was really quite dramatic. So who knows?
Mm-hmm. It was like the most dramatic thing that's happened in I don't know, some of it going back at least to the Revolution.
Yeah, I compare. Yeah, compared to the crash of 1987, you and I were actually chatting during that time too, and that was just money. I mean, we all knew that something was going to turn out okay on this, but this was so many loss of life, and to see those buildings come tumbling down, I don't think anybody in the United States didn't have goosebumps. When they saw that happen, because that was really...
The whole public was not watching the crash in '87, but it was very serious, and it seems to me the Treasury Secretary stepped in and told the banks, if anybody comes in from Wall Street and asks for money, give it to them.
Yeah. That's right. I remember the old plunge protection team that was supposed to be out there. From what my friend...
Well, that was formed like the next day. That wasn't active then.
Yep. Yeah, my friend Byron Tucker said the reason why the market bottomed on the 20th of October is because the plunge protection team or the Fed, whoever did it, they changed the accounting laws for banks. In other words, they were able to mark their positions to market. Instead of having huge losses, they could mark their positions on what they were trading at as of October 19th, and that gave them liquidity to go in and buy the market. You know what I mean?
Well, it was quite hairy, and there were a lot of things done, but there was no plunge protection team until the following week.
Yeah, isn't that the case? The folks in the den are talking about potential crashes and stuff, and I've always tried to say don't work your lives or trading around potential crashes, because they're so doggone rare that you might have gray hair and no teeth by the time you get it. You might not even be interested in trading at that time. So Trade what you see and not what you believe, for sure.
Well, you do have to be aware that the most likely times of a crash is September, October, and it's during the negative portion the most negative portion of your regular seasonal pattern too. So you have to keep your eyes open. But crashes are very rare. But every crash in our history back to 1900 occurred in the same 40% of the Mars-Uranus cycle. Now that is 40% of the time in this of time that it's capable of being a crash from that standpoint. And of course, that's every 2 years, and we do not. And since they're so rare, you need to be aware of all kinds of technical and fundamental data that would support that.
Okay, that makes pretty good sense. Are we in that Mars type of cycle right now, Sam?
Yes, till the end of the year, actually.
Oh, okay, so that's something that's going on. What else do you see in the market that would be... I have one other question before we get into that, and that one of our listeners is asking, did you lose anybody that you knew, either friends or business associate that day from the Twin Towers? Did you have anybody that you knew?
I'm not aware that there was. My best noted person in there was the Market Technicians Association on the 40-something floor, and I was talking to her about something else when that hit, and I emailed her and said, you better get out of there, and she backed up everything and walked out with it, and she was a very heavy lady.
Wow, so she was able to get out?
Yes.
Yeah, I lost two friends. They worked for Boyd Jeffries. They were bond traders at Boyd Jeffries, husband and wife, and that was the only ones that I remember. Sam, how do you see the market right now, where we stand here coming into these real critical levels of October? Anything that you'd like to share with the folks about?
Well, there is a concern that this is a dangerous period, and what I said on the front of my letter September 4th was that this has been a pretty bad year for the rest of the world. We're only of the top 18 markets, including 2 in the U.S. and 2 in China. There were only 4 that were positive, our 2, and Taiwan and Mexico. Mexico was up a couple percent, and Taiwan was up like 4 or 5, and our regular market was up like 7, and our NASDAQ was up like 14 or 15. Still, it was up 21.
Yeah. Well, the Chinese market has gotten hammered, and what do you feel about these tariffs and stuff? Do you have any feeling, either astrologically or otherwise, about these tariffs?
Well, what has happened is that they have had tariffs against our stuff, but we haven't had tariffs against their stuff.
Yeah.
So I think the administration is trying to
even it out. Hey, let's take a break, Sam.
Out, period.
Hey, stay with us, Sam. We got to take a break, and we'll be right back with Arch Crawford of Crawford Perspectives.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Arch Crawford from Crawford Perspectives. Arch, we were talking a little bit about these tariffs from China, and you were saying that, we've been under their thumb for quite a while. So do you think this is going to have long-term repercussions in any of these markets? The stock market doesn't seem to care.
That all of the other markets were lower, other than Taiwan and Mexico and the U.S. two measurements. And that was 14 others were negative, and the median was down about 7% on the year. So I'm saying that the world is much worse off, and we are like the exception right now. And what I do is looking at the planets and the astronomical cycles is sort of a universal. And I've been wrong on the U.S. markets, but I've been right on all the others.
Well, welcome to the club. We know how that is. Wherever you're trading, you're going to have some good ones and some bad ones. Sam, what's your feeling on the gold market here? These gold stocks, they're just getting absolute massacred.
Let me say one more thing about right now. Mm-hmm. One of the things I watch is what the sun is doing and what the Earth's magnetic field is doing. And last night, the Earth's magnetic field disturbance was running about 5 out of 9, and this morning it hit 6 out of 9, all red.
Wow.
And that's as these hurricanes are approaching landfall in Hawaii and the United States, and we'll see what it does to markets. But
wow.
The things that are affecting the markets the most, the NASDAQ has a tendency to lead on the upside and the downside. Mm-hmm. And it has topped out, and it's the only major index that's back down to the 50-day moving average and a long-term trend line. So it's got to stop right here, or it's got to break down.
Okay. Does the fact that we're coming into this seasonal period that we talked about earlier, October being the time when most bottoms are formed, the last 4 years, it hasn't worked at all. But right. This is whether it works on the fifth time or not, I'm not sure. But boy, we've had some horrendous down moves in some of these markets. Even in 2001, we had that September 11th, but even after that, the market rallied, well over 100 handles in the S&P, and then came down and made its low in late October of that year. So October
actually, the week after 9/11, when it finally opened back up the following week, it was the worst week since the fall of France in 1940. And that put in a low, which was predicted in my letter also, that it should bottom at about that time, about a week after. It was about 2 weeks after the actual 9/11, because the first week it didn't open.
Yeah, I know we were closed 8 days here at that time. If you remember, they
never
closed.
Happened since World War I.
Yeah. Davis-Monthan Air Force Base here in Tucson, as you remember, was closed, and boy, that was very unusual. Half the city was closed for 8 days. One of the things I remember, Sam, is right when they started to open things up, you couldn't get anybody on an airline, and they were offering round-trip tickets to Las Vegas for $10, and United Airlines came out and they offered round-trip tickets to Hawaii for $100. And my grandson was living there, so I think I bought 6 round-trip tickets, so I could go. And there was $100 round trip from Los Angeles, and then you could get a Southwest ticket round trip for $25. So, man, you were flying free if you had the courage to fly, and there was nobody on the planes. I mean, they were empty. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. I don't know. We're going to have something like happen again.
Conference up in, I think it was. Northern California, and we drove there from here.
Oh my goodness! Well, I mean,
Carolyn drove fast, if you remember.
Oh boy, do I remember lead foot and all. Another thing, in February of that year, they were having the money conference in Times Square at the Marriott Marquis, and one of my good friends was a fire captain for the New York, and he wanted to know if I wanted to go down to Ground Zero, and so he had the passes and the siren and all the stuff. So I got in the car, and we went down there, and we got about a third of the way down into the hole, and I asked him to go back because I mean, it was so emotional, the smell of the diesel fuel and stuff, and seeing what was going on. And this was in February. I really couldn't take it anymore, and so I went back up, and boy, that was a very emotional time for me, seeing that stuff go on. But I don't want to go through that again. That's not any fun.
Sure. I had good friends who were on Fulton Street, the main, coming out of the tunnel. What's that street? I forget now. Anyway.
It's not Houston, is it?
No, it's way below Houston. It's the next big cross street below Houston. But anyway, Canal Street. And, they closed up their place. The smell was terrible, and they went to her parents' home in California.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, it's amazing, but who knows? Do you see anything in the future for stocks? What you're feeling here on the overall stock market? And then please tell us what you're seeing in gold, Sam. We've had several people asking us about the gold market. That's the main thing that they seem to be interested in this morning.
Well, I've stayed out of it. I've mentioned a while back when Jupiter was trying to Neptune that was a long-term low in 1920. In 1990 something, I think I bought it in the newsletter at about 258 on April the 4th or 5th of 2001. Yeah, 2001 at 258. Wow. And there was another Jupiter trying Neptune moderately recently, and I said, buy it there if you get enough confirmation, and we did not get any confirmation. It rallied for 2 or 3 days, and then it dipped back down, and I said, I don't like this. It's not it broke a minor trend line. I said in the newsletter that, hey, this broke a minor trend line, and I don't like it. I'm staying out, and particularly if it breaks the next heavier trend line, and it went down and it broke the next heavier trend line. So I've been out for a few months, And I'm watching it. I love gold. I would keep a long-term position always, just for whatever happens,
That's for sure. Sam, we want to thank you for being on our show today. We're going to have you on again, my friend, and it's nice to talk to an elder statesman. Sam happens to be 3 months older than me, folks. He was born on April the 17th, the day of J.P. Morgan's birthday. So, Sam, God bless you, my friend, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you much. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. Sam Crawford of Crawford Perspective, 877-927-6648.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we started this show with the support spots in the S&P at 2865. We had a low today of 2866. We've already rallied 10 handles. If you'll take a look at this NASDAQ that we posted no longer than about 30 minutes ago, that we had really strong support at that 7,400 level. 7,400 has been the exact low so far today, and we rallied 50 handles off of that. So you can see the importance of those numbers. That's my 2 cents worth, but if we get below those numbers, that's going to be a very negative sign on either one of these. But until that happens, there's still a bias to the upside. And remember, you get a lot of this The first hour, of course, is what they call amateur hour. And the reason why they call it amateur hour, folks, is because people put their orders in the night before, especially people that don't have any skin in the game, and they don't, really care. So they just want to make sure they're either in the market or out of the market. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe not, but that's the way they do things, and so we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, we want to keep watching the gold very, very closely. We got down to the 11.94 level. Silver went below $14, which we were looking for, $13.99. I believe that's a really good spot. You don't have to risk much here, folks. You only have to risk about $300, to control a $70,000 contract. So that's a very, very low risk. Anything below $13.92, I would think, would be not a very good sign. So far, the low's been $13.97, but whether it continues or not, will remain to be seen. Someone's asked a question about that, the Alibaba stock. Sorry, folks. Let's get this Alibaba, look at it one more time. This is, of course, Jack Ma's stock, and it has a lot of support at that 155, 154 level. Here again, you don't have to risk very much, by watching some of these things. So keep an eye on it. We've got a really collapse going here now in the bonds and also in the notes. We've been expecting that. So rates are going higher, boys and girls. Get ready. 877-927-6648.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks!